Hey everyone, what's going on? I am at the hive, as you can see there, and I am going to get in and add a honey super. What a honey super is a place where the bees are going to store all their honey, and I don't know why it's called a super. Maybe you guys do. If you're beekeepers, you can comment down below. But the frames that I'm using aren't your conventional frames. In fact, they're the Flow Hive. If you're interested in beekeeping at all, then you know what the Flow Hive is, or you've at least seen it. But for those of you who don't, I'll go ahead and show you what a frame is like. But first, I want to talk about what the bees are doing right now. So they're hanging out on the front of the hive, and that is called bearding. Yes, like my beard. Anyway, what this means is it's pretty hot out, or it's pretty hot in the hive. It's definitely hot outside, and we're gonna expand the box, or expand the hive so that they have more room up top, and hopefully cool off a little bit in the hive. Something else I've done, which I tried last year that I like, is I've screwed in some screws to about 1 centimeter, and the inner cover is going to lay on top of that, and hopefully some circulation will get in from the top as well. I've removed the bottom board, which is that thing right there, and that'll get airflow up from the bottom. I got my smoke going. I use pine needles. A lot of people use like smoking pellets, but my parents have a giant pine tree, so that's what I use. So this is one of the frames from the Flow Hive, and the way that it works is it has these hexagons that bees build, but this one's made out of plastic. All of this is capping from last year when they filled it with honey. But what you do is up here, you open this up and you have a little lever that you put in. There you go, maybe you can see it better. You have a little lever that you can put in, and you crank it, and it actually separates a comb. So like if this is the comb, it separates it like that, and so then the honey just starts flowing down itself. And then it begins to fill up the reservoir in the bottom, and you remove that plug right there, and honey flows right out. So what it does is it makes it so you don't have to get an extractor or use centrifugal force to get the honey out. The bees get the honey harvested right from beneath them. Let's see if this bee will fly into frame. Guess not. Anyway, yeah, I've used it for the last 3 seasons now, and it's been great. So I kind of wanted to go conventional this year, but the Flow Hive really is pretty easy. So yeah, let's get to work. So first things first, I'm gonna inspect the boxes that are already on there, and then we'll put on the honey super. This is all honey right here. The bees are slurping it up because they think their hive's under attack. And that's the inside of a hive. So that is capped brood right there. So these cells across the top, if you can see them, these bigger ones, those are drone cells. Those are the male bees. Everything else you see here, pretty much a female bee. They're the ones that do all the work. This is honeycomb that I've scraped off. Unfortunately, a few bees got stuck in it. I don't want to eat this because I had a mite treatment on here. But now that I've taken out the mite treatment, the honey that I'm going to put on is going to be good. Alright, so now I gotta clean up that mess. So I don't want to squish any of those bees around the perimeter. So that's why I emptied this box. It'll make it easier, and then I'll just put them back in frame by frame. Obviously the goal is to be the least disruptive as possible, but as you can imagine with your house, if someone tried to come rearrange the furniture while you were there and disrupt your food supply, you'd be pretty upset too. But believe it or not, these bees are pretty docile. What I'm doing now is I have a queen excluder, and what this does is it keeps the queen out of the honey super, because you don't want her laying her eggs and brood forming where you're going to harvest your honey from. So these slats are big enough to let the worker bees through, but not the queen bee. So we're going to set this on, and then we'll set on our Flow Hive. So again, if you're not familiar with the Flow Hive, it was invented by a father and son duo in Australia. Made a ton of money on GoFundMe, I believe. I just bought the frames at the time. I didn't have enough money to buy the whole kit, so I retrofitted some boxes and I've used it to harvest honey. It's been awesome, but I'm just scraping off this wax here as much as I can. This was from last year's hive. I'll give you a close-up of the hive. Didn't want you guys to get stung. Anyway, that's the honey super, or the queen excluder. Then the honey super is going to sit right on top, but look at all these bees. They'll settle down, especially now that they'll have more room. But yeah, we're going to put the Flow Hive on now. Got to put the lid on and we'll be good to go. But as you can see, there's also honey in the lid, so I got to clean that up. That's going to be fun. We got the lid on and you can see the little gap right there. Whoops. That should help with circulation. So the bottom's open, obviously the entrance is open, and then that should help with circulation too, so they don't congregate on the front like you see here. That's pretty extreme, but they'll settle down and go inside. Yeah, it's a lot of work, and that's just one hive. So, you know, I don't know what to say other than I'm beat. It's hot out here, even though this is like a fully ventilated suit. But if you like the bee content, obviously there's going to be plenty more. I'll show you during harvest time what the Flow Hive can do and how easy it makes it. But we'll let these bees settle down and I will clean up my mess. But yeah, they're not too thrilled. Anyway, if you like what you see, of course, give it a like. Comment down below if you have a Flow Hive, or if you have any questions that I can answer. If not, hopefully there's other beekeepers on here that can. There's my dad in his garden. And yeah, subscribe and have a good one. Peace, and be good to each other.